So this is the first time we've done this. Welcome to an episode of Mojave River Valley News. I'm Eric Swanson. This is a different way that we've done this in the past. We're going to be talking about some polling, exactly what's happening with some of the races here in the high desert, the Mojave River Valley area. So I haven't done it this way before, so we'll see, because really what we're looking at currently right now is just the preliminary votes. So these are votes that are coming in, that are ballots that either been mailed in, or you would have to go down to the registered voters office or one of the satellite sites with the registered voters office to vote ahead of time. So what that actually means, you say, well, Eric, what's that craziness mean? So what that gets down to is that at this point here, we have the 8:30 piece that just came out. And now the next section that comes out will be the 10 o'clock, and then it'll be 2 hours, every 2 hours, until all the poll votes are counted. And after that, they go through provisionals, they go through late mail-ins, and so forth. And that's just the way it always works. So what we're seeing today, in most cases, this is usually a very, very heavy of the Democratic turnout of the votes. So a lot of times, the more the Democrats vote, send in their ballots, than usually Republicans. So now what will happen is Republican votes will start seeing more of a trending of this over the polls. And I'm not saying there won't be Democratic votes. There's a little bit of each. So I think one of the things we got to look at here is understanding how the process works. Now, we'll have many, many people here that are, if you haven't had a chance to follow this, or if you want to know how to follow this, you can just go to the San Bernardino County ROV. You can put that right into the search engine and go to live vote events. And what this will do is it'll actually show you exactly what this is happening live. Now, really where things start making sense is the 8:30 shows you what is just kind of a pre-base. The 10 o'clock is actually when the base comes in. And then when you see it again at midnight, then you'll see where the trending comes in. So your candidate today could be in first place, and all of a sudden jump off and go completely backwards. So we have to kind of look at this. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to analyze some of these numbers here. I just want to let you know, probably when we get around to 10 o'clock, we're going to do this right exactly the way we're doing today, and we'll try to do this as we're doing it, just to say exactly where all these seats sit. Just to give you some ideas of where we are looking at today. In Victorville, we can see that Liz Becerra and Tiffany Godin are on top, along with Leslie Irving. So those are the three seats in the Victorville. Remember, these are just preliminary numbers. They don't mean anything. Doesn't mean these people have won. It's way, way, way too early. In Apple Valley, it looks like Art Bishop is leading that seat. In the school boards, or let me finish the other candidates. So in Hesperia, it looks like Chris Ochoa. Now this one's really close, because this is only 25 votes apart. This could go anywhere. This will be a good example of understanding and seeing how trending really works in these races. So that one's only 25 votes apart. Then we have Josh Poland. Josh Poland is way ahead here. And so these are two people that we'll have to watch very, very carefully here to see where they end up. I have not looked at or analyzed the Adelanto seats yet, and I'll be probably doing that shortly here. Because in Adelanto, there was, matter of fact, let me actually grab it real quick here for you. It's real easy to do here. Again, if you're just joining us, we have, just want to let you know where you can follow these numbers. Just go to San Bernardino, ROV, and it'll let you get in there and take a look at it at that point there. So in Adelanto right now, it looks like it's pretty heavy. It's going to be Stavana Evans and Joy Jeanette. Daniel Ramos, I take that back. I have a different look at here. It looks like Stavana Evans and Daniel Ramos right now are the two seats ahead on that. But none of those numbers don't mean anything. We'll see what happens. It goes from there. But I think one of the things that you might also want to find and follow tonight, because it's very, very early, if you've been following the presidential race, we're really not going to get too much into that. We might talk about it a little bit. This is a very interesting race to see where this is trending, because some of the things we're seeing on some of the newscasts is data and information that is never been delivered to us this way before. It's just because the computer technology, the software technology has gotten so much better each 2 years of these different election pieces. So that's exciting to watch that. If you're not watching on that, it just pick a station, and it's very interesting. No matter if it's MSNBC or CNN or the news network or Fox, a lot of them have this different electoral counts on there. So it's that one. Those races are moving on pretty quickly, and we might actually even know some of the numbers. I think my guess would be, because I've been doing this since the 70s, my guess is that we'll probably have a very, very good idea by 2 in the morning of where the Senate, the House, and the presidential race will actually sit. And I'm not the only one predicting that. There's a few other people who have said that too. So anyway, when it comes around 10 o'clock, I'm going to go ahead and start this again, and then we can actually get down to the nitty-gritty on the numbers. And I hope I'm talking about the specific candidates you're looking for. We'll leave this video up there so that other people can watch it if they haven't got a chance, because one of the things we didn't do this year, when it's just because there's so much going on, is that we did not pre-announce, we did not make a decision to do this as a fancy a studio production. To me, it's just more important to get this information out to you folks. So, hey, if you haven't had a chance, please subscribe, ring the bell, so that when we have these videos that you'll see when they come up, they'll trigger, and you'll say, all right, he's going online for something. So we'll probably end up doing the next piece probably about 10 after. It gives us about 10 minutes to analyze some of the numbers and see where we actually sit on this. So anyway, on behalf of my small team that we have here, we didn't go overboard this year, because I felt that we could actually do it this way and maybe do a better job with this. Now, some of the pieces that we'll do in the next couple of days to come, we'll actually do that as a studio production, so that you can actually see the numbers on the screen and understand it. Today, everything changes so fast, and I know that the previous years we've done an update every 2 hours, and everybody said, well, that's just too much. So the only thing we want to talk about here is saying, this is where we are, this is where we're going to be sitting, so that you get a feel for it. So we'll see you back probably about 10 after 10, and then we'll know where our base is on for all these races out there. And I sure hope that I'm touching on the base, touching on the race that you're interested in. And we might even go even a little further and look at some of the races outside of the area here. We will definitely talk about congressional races, the state assembly, state senate seats. And those are very, very interesting, but those are much more complicated to do, because most of the Senate seats, the Senate and the Assembly seats are joint counties. So that means that part of the seat is here in San Bernardino County, and the other part of the seat is in LA County. And so some of the ones we're watching on that is to see, Juan Carrillo's seat, to see where he ends up on that against Paul Marsh. We have Suzette against Kip, and see where that ends up. The seat with Derek Marshall and Jay Obernolte, that's pretty solid now. I don't think we're going to see much change in that. Matter of fact, I think that one you could probably put in the bank. Right now, Jay is ahead by about 15, 16 points. And my guess here is that the trending would normally be at this point that gap will even be wider. So that's just pretty normal with this. Tom Lackey, he's if you're having to be in Tom Lackey's seat, he's pretty strong in that too. But we'll touch on some other races. We'll touch on, if in the comments here, if when we get down to 10 o'clock, if there's some other things that you're looking for. I noticed that I had a comment here. What is the electoral for the presidential votes? You know what? We'll at 10 o'clock we'll pull that information. I'll throw that at you. But remember, it's pretty preliminary at this point here. But this is as far as a statistical point of view, because that's really where I am. I'm a numbers person. I've been doing races going all the way back to the 70s, and I know trending. And this is a pretty interesting year, because we have never ever seen anything like this. The way this polling has been working, as far as giving us the poll information, and that's actually seeing where the ballots sit. We do know this, that we've heard this across the entire valley here, that the polls were packed with people. So if you were out there, if you were a poll voter today, you would have noticed that it was a lot of people there. So, hey, we're going to be back with you, and we're going to, in about 20 minutes, and then we'll have some more base, because this information, the next set of information, actually sets the foundation of where the trending is going to go for these candidates, either up or down. So this is where we sit, and then at midnight we see where they're trending. So we keep this in mind, that the data we have today is preliminary information, These are all the ballots that have just been mailed in or people that voted at some of the regional voting places. From here on out is poll data. And then when it goes beyond that, it goes for the people that are late ballots. And then it goes into provisionals. And then it goes into cures. So it's quite an interesting thing that happens here. It's to me, it's exciting to see every 2 years to be able to share this. And even in the primaries, because we have 2 different primaries that are in the mix of this too. So, hey, we'll see you back at about approximately about 10 or 10:15. And we'll show some more results and some more information. And then at that point there, we'll know exactly where we're starting from. Hey, my team over here is looking at me trying to say, gosh, we got to get more data. We got to get more data. So I'm Eric Swanson. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you back in a little bit.